Sup, team? I am sorry about yesterday. I was not prepared for the mess I got to go home to yesterday. It was super fun. I learned that we had some hard rains coming from the east, and our house apparently is not watertight. Not an issue I wanted to find, but what do you do with it? It happens. It does. It does. Hopefully not too often. That's my hope anyway. I'm like double checking all the things right now. Sometimes I wish I would find a better way to do some of the things I do, like automate a few of the things. Sup, Blake? Sup, Steven? And yet I kind of like some of what I do. It worked for you since you weren't available yesterday. See, we did this just for Blake. We moved this over just for Blake. It's all for you, bud. Trying to figure out why my button's not showing up. I have this thing set up such that I like run a rake command on my website, and it like is supposed to put a live button up by the logo, but it seems like there's, oh, there it is. It seems like it there's like a caching thing that drives me up a wall. But hey, is what it is. Checking one more thing and then we'll be done. Done with checking the things. I think. I don't know. It's not showing up on. I gotta get the whole like send out the thing and it goes all the places deal. I'm still working on some of that. Details, right? Blake and Steven. How are you guys? I don't know how today's gonna go. This is one of those like, this is a question that I feel like I need to work on answering. And I have people ask me this a fair amount, but I don't always know like, what's a clean answer to this question? Get to know Steven and Blake. School on Monday. What's the school again? It's like a data thing, right? If memory works. Not saying mine does. So yeah, Michael, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Bachelor's in Applied Computer Science. How does that differ? I've been curious, not being a computer science degree, I want to know if you can answer this, Blake. What is the difference between a computer science degree and an applied computer science degree? Memory. I don't know. It's in computers. It's not one I have. Good call. Good call. Oh, too fun. But yes, I would like to know the difference between those two. I'm like, I was doing some weird setup stuff before we started. Oh, I was gonna change that. This camera like is doing this ISO change automatically. Like whenever I put something up close to it, like the autofocus can grab my hand, but it drives me nuts that the coloring and stuff changes whenever I do stuff like that. I want it to lock in. And I thought I had it locked in, but apparently I did not. More on application of skills over theory. Well, okay. That's your assignment for next time, Blake. I need an answer to that question. I'll probably forget that I asked it, so you'll need to bring it up. Okay? Anyway, I was goofing around with some stuff earlier because I've got a coaching call with someone here at what is it, 2 o'clock? And I was trying to get it to where my stream PC, I could run like this camera and stuff on that call and then run everything else from my computer. And I think I got it, but it'd be pretty sweet if I could get that to all to work out. Only slightly irritating, very slightly irritating. It drives me crazy. I don't know why. I wish it would quit. Okay. So, I'm kind of putting this off today. I even had an extra day to think through this stuff. And I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. But I think we should do it regardless. Because that's the point, right? At least part of the point. Okay, we've been here before. I think everybody who's here has been here before. And I wonder... Lack of focus, Joe. Part of me wonders if I should like figure out some way to put like on the screen the hotkeys and stuff that I know if I would quit doing this. I wondered if there's a way to like show the hotkeys that I'm typing. Trying out the 2 webcams. Oh, that's right. You got the face cam. I have a C920. That's like the gold standard for webcams for a lot of folks, but I talk with my hands too, Steven. Sorry about that. Okay, let's dive in here. I think sometimes, does it matter if big tech owns your data? All right, let's start going down this rabbit hole. Does it matter if big tech owns your data? And it occurred to me as I pulled this up that I have this social media privacy and data thing, this is what we were working on last time, which makes sense that this kind of was the thing that was crossing my mind that I wanted to cover, because that's how this stuff tends to work. Like you tend to, piggyback off of them. But it occurred to me that like this is social media privacy and data. And if I go back to my 0, like I have that there, but now that I have that, it makes me think I need a privacy and data, nope, privacy and data one here that would allow me to link to that one. Like that. And then this like becomes that jumping off point to the next one. Command plus the screen. How's that? That actually works for me too, because I'm not that close to it. Like it's way over here. I'm not super close to it. Good. I'm doing this just for you, Steven. Let's go into here because I want this. Okay. And then this needs to go into maps. But then that also means that this one doesn't really need this because it doesn't apply anymore because it's got a jumping off point, which is right here. Could call on the command plus thing. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this, I feel like I should do something like this. Now, the other thing I want to do, which way does it go? Is that how that works? Yeah. Because then I can have this say social media, but then the title of it is social media privacy and data. You see how I did that? It's kind of a fancy little nomenclature thing. I know there's quite a few like tools that will do it like that. I'm not sure how many of them there are, but it doesn't bother me. As it pertains to social media, I feel like I also want a... I need something like big tech something, because I want that as a jumping off point into today's. There you go. You can see it, like I got a note for today's thing. Does it matter if big tech owns your data as it pertains? I guess it would just be big tech, but I think the note itself would need to be called... I don't want it to end up being like a nomenclature. FANG? I don't get that one. I feel like that's an acronym that I don't understand, but probably should. You know this, right? Like, I'm a self-trained tech person and developer, so whenever it comes to actually knowing like what all the trained people talk about, like I don't really know most of these things. What are the, like, Blake's about to know so much more than I am, that I have ever known. Oh, got it. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Alphabet. Got it. I'm with you now. So does that become Mang with Meta? We could definitely do well, let's just do this. We're just gonna make it called Big Tech. And when we go to Big Tech, what is the... There's a nomenclature for this. It's like this, I think. I think that's the way that works. If I go back here... Yeah, you see that? So then you can do that and it just shows up. But then it'll show it as FANG, but then... Yeah. I'm not sure how I... This is just from like an Obsidian stance. I'm not sure how I feel about using this, because I don't care for... Like, that's a very proprietary portion of Obsidian, and I don't use that. I don't think I have any that have that elsewhere. So that would mean... I guess I already deleted it. I think if I were to do that, I would just refer to... Well, let's do this. Let's just do this. So I'm trying to figure out, like, I need like a paragraph of some sort here talking about it. Companies that qualify as big tech will change over time. Let's put that around under quotes. As it stands today, we refer to these as FANG, but you can link that, okay? Companies that qualify as big tech will change over time. As it stands today, we can refer to these... Well, that's maybe a little generic. Well, maybe it is, isn't? I don't want to say it's refer to these. As stands today, this would include Fang and a few smaller companies such as what? Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Now I'm drawing blanks. Twitter, yeah. Probably TikTok. If you're doing the Snapchat. Snapchat capitalized on that? I gotta look at... Yeah, YouTube's the same. Now I gotta look at my phone. Would Reddit qualify? I feel like Reddit's not that big. Tumblr used to be. Would Adobe qualify as that? It is lowercase. No camel case. Thanks for that. I'm gonna put Adobe in this mix. It's funny to think of Adobe as smaller. Microsoft. How did we miss Microsoft? Amazon's a part of Fang, according to Mr. Porter. Why did I say Potter? I know it's not Potter. Sorry about that, Mr. Michael. I'm gonna run with that. Okay. Now, the thing I want to do here is we're gonna link each one of these. Now, the other thing we can do when we go into Fang, see where I'm going with this? Does it matter which one comes first, Amazon or Apple? Not so hairy today. Okay, now basically what this allows me to do is I can reference those at any time, but if I ever want to spell out something specifically about them, I can just go into the note for them. See, like this exists now. Okay, so companies, basically what we're doing is we're setting up the bases here. And as these continue to build, it makes it easier to add individual notes to this over time. Okay. So companies that qualify as big tech will change over time. As it stands today, this will include Fang, and a few smaller companies such as Microsoft, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Adobe. Well, I don't have the and on there. I hate that I can never like really tell if I've got two spaces there when I do that or not. Okay. So then that sets up basically who is big tech. Now, once you have that, there's a lot of different ways you could do this. I know that sometimes people will go to a separate note and then start spelling out more details about a different aspect of that and then link back to it today. Sometimes I feel like I just want to continue, like, let's put some questions down about big tech, kind of like what we did last time. And then if it needs, it can be split off into its own thing. So let's do this. Let's just put our question here. Doesn't matter if big tech owns your data. We'll see where this goes. Okay, so I feel like there are a lot of different aspects to this. Now that we have this qualified as to who they are. So then the components here are okay. I'm looking for the jumping off point. I feel like once I get that point, this is easy, but I got to find that point. If big tech owns your data, we could take this the same way we did last time. You know, you'd have to define what is the data. Okay. Data refers to any text, images, videos, geotag. Wait, what am I trying to say? Along with, yeah, that's true. What does owning it mean? Which is going to bring us back to, okay, that's a good point. Put a pin in that one because that's going to tie us into what we did last time, which means that we need to tie those two together. Searches, that's a good call. I was trying to think of like, sometimes these posts have like location data, but how do you refer to that? Man, you guys are on me. So many questions. Can we both own it? Shared ownership? I don't think that's the way the terms are written in most cases. So any text, images, videos, searches, profile data, profile information, geotags. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good way to term that. I was trying to think also about whenever you are building your profile. Pardon me. When you're building your profile, you often have like address information or phone numbers and stuff. So I'm going to put like demographics. I feel like there's one more. Text, images, videos, searches, profile information, geotags, demographics, purchase history. Yeah, login. That like floats the line because you can't use the service without that, which would be kind of the same as demographics. Oh, IP. Yeah, then we're starting to float into the line of like collecting things, because then you can also talk about browsing history, like Facebook's thing of tracking what you've been browsing. I'm gonna go ahead and put login information there. And anything else I can't think of that they collect without me knowing about it. This is what we call a cop out. Nice. All right. Okay, I want to go back to what does owning it mean, right? Well, that was fun. Not really sure what happened, but I think it was a bit of a network thing. Combination of, thanks, Steven. A combination of a cable that wasn't 100% plugged in, and I think the program froze when it got in the middle of like trying to make the thing work. Anyway, we're back. Whee! This is why I like keep the things up so I can actually see when that stuff happens. Super fun. Okay. All right. Now, what I was getting to is with this, there's the component here around what does it mean to own your data? Yeah, it's probably catching up, Blake, would be my assumption. It'll take it a second. There are components of what we did last time that I feel like need to come into this as well. And this is where you start the process of like, what is this? So here's okay. Here's a good place. So this thing that I just wrote out, data. If I copy that, let's make a new note. And let's just call it online data. And we're gonna put that in there, okay? This goes into notes. We go back where we were. And then this we would do this. Okay. And then this can go away. And then this can be the same. Okay. Now, you see this? So let's just for funsies, let's go here. And then let's open up this view. This is where people start getting like super excited about how this stuff works, because I can go to this online data note and see where I've got it referenced here. So I know that I'm talking about it in big tech, but I've also got it in the social media and privacy, and then it'll highlight where it's at in that note whenever you get back to it. Okay. I just want to point that out. Okay. So does it matter if big tech owns your online data? So now we have online data defined. Actually, I want to, let's do this. It doesn't bother me if these are lowercase. Notice it's updating links. It did it here as well. In there, okay. All right, so we have that defined. What does it mean to own it? We have this. To own your data means to control the source of the posts from your own infrastructure with full capabilities to create, read, update, and delete any aspect of the data at any time. Let's just do this. There you go. Magic. I feel like that could be oh, we could do this too. I feel like I don't like this. I don't like the way this is going. I kind of like, I feel like I need to do it like this. This is one of the things that I tend to struggle with a little bit, is like titling these things so that you can link to them. Okay, this is something you can do. You could always do this. Depending on your definition of what it means to own your data. See what I did there? It may or may not matter. But you get my little bit of angst here with the, well, I suppose the way that a lot of people would do this, how would they do this? The ones I've seen, they would have this and they would set this up as an actual title like that. And then here, they would do this, which isn't bad. I'm okay with that. Depending on your definition of what it means to own your data, it may or may not matter. What was I working on? What does owning it mean? This. Let's make this go away. So if this is what it means to own your data, and then the other aspect here, let's do this. Okay. So then this is what I mean by online data. Here's what I mean to own it. Here's where I'm talking about that. Okay. I want to fix this one too. It amazes me how much brain power this takes. Oh, didn't actually save that. You guys still with me? Or did I lose access to the links? Okay. Let's see. Still low res? Do you like set the resolution on it? I know, I'm moving fast. I get that. There you go. Sometimes whenever you lose a connection like that, it can lock on something lower because it thinks it's got an issue, and then you have to like manually tell it to bump up. Okay. Depending on your definition of what it means to own your data, it may or may not matter. If... Do I have it at 1080-30 or 1080-60? Maybe nobody knows the answer. I think it's 1080-30 because I think if I ran 60, it's a bit much for the daters. If... Well, no, let's not do that. Does it matter if big tech owns your online data? Regardless, they do currently own a large amount of it. Whether you would like whether you would like them to or not. Okay, so if they do currently own a large amount of it, whether you would like them to or not. I don't think it's whether you like them to, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it, not whether you would like it, whether you like it or not. So then the ramifications of that. Do I have two spaces there? Nope. Regardless, they do own a large amount of it, whether you would like it or not. What I'm processing is, how do I get to the results of them owning that? Because once you understand the results of that, it can help you make the decision. So then, regardless, they do own a large amount of it. And they use your data for, I was going to say a variety of things, but that term and phraseology has been used a lot. They use your data for improving their platforms, but also for so they use your data for improving their platforms, but also for selling ads to generate revenue. Now that's a very limited view of it, of course. Goes to what I want. We talked about what owning meant in terms of ability to display or delete it last time. Yep. If you're consuming on that site, it does matter. Yep. Algorithms. So maybe that's what we need. Improving their platforms. Deciding what products or posts to share with you. Now see, the other thing too is I could easily take each one of these and spell out an entire note about how that happens. Drives away things are presented to you by the algorithm. If you're just presenting, as long as they're not deleting or hiding, it doesn't matter. Or does it? But they do, because even if you follow someone, they may not necessarily show that to you. Blake, did you DM me on Twitter? What did you send me? Oh, something else. It's unrelated, I think. I just glanced, saw the little shortcut snippet thingy. If we say, these are the ways that they use it. Obviously, they're using the algorithmic piece. We could easily dive into what each one of those is. I don't think that's the point here, though. Not yet. Use your data for improving their platforms. Well, I suppose we could go down that path. How do I want to link this? Products or posts to share. Let's see. Let's call that algorithmic infinity feeds. That would be the name of the note. Okay. So if I click on that, I'd get this. Choosing what post to show the user based on viewing history. And encouraging engagement. As opposed to showing all latest posts. We'll just leave it like that. Okay. That's not so bad. Okay. Okay, so if they're using the data to improve the platforms, I might be okay with that. The fact that they're using it to dictate what products or posts you'll see aren't like that can be an issue. Like, and it's a thing a lot of people have issues with, take issues with. But they're also using it to sell ads. Like, all of these things independently don't seem that bad. Now, where this can get to be an issue, and maybe this is, I don't know if this is, so the title of this is Big Tech. And obviously this could morph and is going to morph over time. Does it matter if Big Tech owns your online data? That's the question being posed here. What I was processing is like the results of them choosing to do these things lead us to so many of like the health and focus issues. And I feel like it can get to that point because whenever you have an algorithmic feed. Here. For improving their platforms, deciding what products and posts to share with you, but also for selling ads. We're gonna do this. We're selling ads to generate revenue and to help make it more addictive, whatever that is, to optimize the platform to encourage more use of the platform. Is that fair? Because I know like they employ a psychologist, they play all sorts of games, right? Retention. I like that word. More use of the to encourage. I like that, Steven. I like that better than what I've got here, but I'm not sure how to use it. To increase retention. Increase user retention. More than retention? Optimize. Maybe they're two different pieces. Optimize the platform to encourage more use of the platform. What do we just say? Like it's its own thing. Retain viewership. I kind of have. Don't I have the engagement piece? I thought I had that here. Improving their platforms. Deciding what products for selling ads. I'm going to say this. Retaining user attention. And optimize the platform. What if we combine this? So platform to encourage more engagement on the platform. Does that make sense? Selling ads, retaining user attention, and to optimize the platform. Well, I guess we don't need to put to optimize. That's unnecessary. And to encourage more engagement on the platform. Yeah, that aspect, Michael. Like that's definitely like part of it. Yes. Only getting Joe once a week, and you never know when I'm coming. Let's see here. So these are the ways that they're using the data with the platform. Oh, good call. This is the way they're using the data. It's true. Joe and then Bookworm. Actually had the conversation about doing this segment twice a week. Selling ads to generate revenue. Retaining user attention. You know what? Let's do this. Big tech companies employ many tactics to keep you focused on their product. Fair enough. These may include, what was the word you used? The slot machine, the small wins. Let's see. Unexpected rewards. That could be its own thing in itself. When you don't know if a reward will be received or not while engaging in an activity, your tendency is to keep playing or to stay focused on the thing. Good example is the casino slot machine. Okay. So now I got an unexpected rewards thing tied to retaining user attention, unexpected rewards. Alerts when other users engage with your posts. I suppose it's tied to the first one, though. Maybe it's just that. Well, no. It wouldn't be... Showing posts that others have already engaged with. What would that? I'm trying to think of, like, they make the platforms easy to use. Well, maybe that's not tied to retaining user attention. Maybe it's just those two for now. We can stop with those. Showing posts from the past. I was trying to think of, like, a different way to say it, because I already used the term showing posts. Showing posts that others have already engaged with. That would just be like showing posts that are already popular. I guess we can use that. Showing posts that you haven't... What would that be? Showing posts that you haven't... that you may not have seen. Well, showing posts from... words. You haven't seen, but from the past. We'll do that. I want to come back to this unexpected rewards. Could also mean drip feeding notifications at random intervals, as opposed to like as it happens, as it misspelled that, as opposed to real time. Okay. Unexpected rewards. What else we got here? This is where we're at. Retaining user attention. You see how this is starting to snowball? We got all these notes we keep making here. Increase engagement with older posts. Let's see. Oh, it's 1:27. I gotta go. I didn't realize we were that far into this. See, this is the thing. Like, you can really get going. So what all do we have here? These all need to go here. All right. So here's where we went today. We recreated our thinking map to be privacy and data as it pertains to big tech and social media. This is what we did last time. At this point, we may want to clean that up. But that's okay. We go into big tech. We may have to revisit this one next time Because I feel like this one's unfinished. Last time I feel like we reached the end point. Benefit of having multiple things in one place. You don't engage with MPU when it moved to discourse because it became its own silo, right? There were reasons for getting it off of Facebook, but it's its own thing, which means you have to have like, I suppose that's something I don't have set up as a way for me to show my phone on here. You can use like the Discourse Hub app on your phone to engage with multiple discourses at once. But I feel like they need that for the Mac. Or I suppose the way you would do that is have like links in a browser. So there's that. Yeah, I feel like this has been good, but I think we're gonna do a part 2 next Wednesday, because I need to get back on the Wednesday train. This is good. We're getting there. I feel like these are topics that are helpful. At least they're helpful to me. Maybe it's not as helpful to you. It's interesting to me. I know when it becomes silos, it's hard for me to know how I feel about it. I don't know. We'll see. If I was doing this on a modern PC device, we've just been scratching the surface. I call him my little IT assistant. He just bought a Surface. It's got like a quad core i7 in it or something. It's not new, but he's very, very excited about it. And I gave him grief yesterday because I had asked him, we've got a new SDI distro. If I ever shown you some of the gear, this thing's not mounted. I'm gonna show it to you. These things, sometimes I talk about this gear and I always wonder, is like, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like these things are honking, but the part that's fun, it's like ports, all the ports. Anyway, this thing has 40, this does apply. It has 40 SDI inputs and 40 SDI outputs. If you don't know what SDI is, it's a coax cable for video, and you can run 4K and 8K signals over it. This one can only do 4K only. This stuff, like, it's because I have, what did we decide? I have 15 or 16 different video inputs that I'm trying to send to like 28 to 30 different places throughout our building here. And I needed my assistant to help me just put a list of what all those inputs and outputs are, because I want to pick and choose where they're going to go on this. I want there to be some kind of a structure to that. And he grabbed this Surface, and he has we have a map of the building, and he wanted to draw circles and put numbers and stuff on the building map. It's like, no. Grab a piece of paper, list them top to bottom, all the inputs, list them top to bottom, all the outputs, and we'll run through what's what throughout the building. And then he pulled up, like, I don't even know what it was, a text note or something, and started typing in. It's like, dude, no. I reached over, grabbed a notepad, because I've got them sitting over there. It's like, this, and wrote it out top to bottom. It's like, yeah, but my handwriting's not very good. It's like, it's going to be terrible unless you use it. Like, it's horrendous. Well, we wrote it all out, and he did it the way I wanted him to do it. And then as we were looking through the list, he had labeled what each input should be and output. And I was like, nope, this doesn't make sense. We should move these around here. And then he's like, oh yeah, what if we do that? Then we've got to do this. And we were moving port numbers back and forth depending on what it was, so that it made sense whenever you plug things into it, knowing it's going to change, but you at least have to have that initial build figured out. And then I asked him, do you think that would have been easy to do on your Surface? What we just did? It's like, no, there's no way we could have done that. It's like, Now you know why I wanted you to write it on a piece of paper. Anyway, massive tech gear. This is a Blackmagic Smart Video Hub, 40 by 40. And then I know you can't see it, but I got a box full of SDI to HDMI converters over there. This thing is going in tomorrow. I haven't pulled most of the cable for it yet, but this has to go in first. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta set up for a coaching call here. I guess if you're interested in that, if you're up for a coaching call, they're $100 for an hour. I'm not crazy expensive as some people. I haven't really pushed coaching, but it seems like more and more people are finding those links and doing them, which is kind of fun. JoeBuick.com. You can find that stuff. Anyway, there's that. And I just realized I didn't set up my end screen correctly. I guess I won't use it today. That's okay. All right. I didn't know I did that. SDI stuff, like pulling cable. I have pulled, how much cable have I pulled? I pulled all the cable for our security system here at the church. And I've pulled many lines for random video signals here and there. When I did the security system, I know, the coaching, the security system, on cable stuff, I know that I pulled just shy of 3 miles worth of cable for that because of all the cameras and alarms and stuff. That was a lot. That was a lot. Anyway, the coaching thing's kind of fun. It's basically if you have specific issues with software or tech, or I guess mindfulness would fit into that category as well. If you fit into any of those, it ends up being a way to kind of work through that. Not like a life coach, but like a tech coach of sorts. And it's always been kind of fun. It's like, I know when people have hit me up lately, they're wanting to know, like, how do I do this when I've got a Microsoft or PC, or I've got a Linux machine, or if I've got, like, should I be using OmniFocus? And I've got ProPresenter in the mix with some stuff I'm doing. Like okay, let's work through it, because I've done this stuff enough times now that it's kind of fun. At least I think it's fun. It's crazy that people pay me to do that, but I think it's fun. Anyway, there's that. I'm gonna go set up for this dude, and we'll catch you next week. Next week, Wednesday. There's no bookworm this week. That's next week. And yeah, because I'm headed out of town tomorrow after lunch. And then, what's up, Derek? And let's see. Yeah, next Wednesday, we'll plan on 1:30. We're going to cover the same topic. I think we need to keep going on this. So it'll be cool to process this stuff for about a week. Maybe you should do the same so that you can tell me what I'm not figuring out quite right. And we'll go from there. All right. Adios, team. Catch you next time.